Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome once again after the briefest of intervals between the previous session and our next session. We are preparing for the 14th session of boxing here on Ring B. It's the quarter-final stage. Boxers now competing for a place on the medal podium and a small matter of a significant increase on the $10,000 prize money that each of the boxers in action today will have already earned by making it through to the quarter-final stage. We've got action across 48 kilogram minimum weight, bantamweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, cruiserweight, and heavyweight. Now that was the actual previous session. So here in session 14, not 13, we've got action at flyweight, featherweight, light welterweight, light middleweight, light heavy, and heavy. 12 bouts coming in this 14th session of boxing. The list that I just read out are the boxers who finished about 13 minutes ago. To progress through to the final four is what the winners have done. And if the fellow boxers from the 14th session can emulate that, then the $10,000 prize money that they have earned will increase to $75,000 because that is what the bronze medalists will receive. Silver medalists receive $150,000, and the champions here at Dubai 2025 receive $300,000, which is split 50% for the boxer, 25% for the coach, and 25% for the federation. Life-changing opportunities on offer here at this 23rd edition of the World Championships. A record prize fund of $8.23 million, 108 federations, the most ever, and 428 boxers from all corners of the world descending here on Dubai to fight for a place on the podium and the considerable cash prizes that are on offer. So, our first contest is in the 51 kilogram flyweight division, and it's between boxers from Mauritius and Russia.
Fabrice, Valerie. And his opponent in the blue corner, representing Russia, Bair, BATLAEV. Your judges at ringside from Cuba, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan,
so ensuring
Zimbabwe,
that the
and China.
Are as they should be is our referee from Kyrgyzstan. Ilia is the third person in the ring, and just making his way through the steps is Fabrice Valerie. Remember, we've got 5 scoring judges presiding over this one. The 10-point must system is in effect. There is Fabrice Valerie, 23 years of age, part of a 4-strong Mauritian boxing team. His opponent is Bair BATLAEV, 25 years of age, and he part of a 13-deep maximum-sized Russian boxing team. In the round of 16, he beat Nicky Cummings of French Polynesia on a unanimous decision verdict. And that was the same margin of victory earned by Valerie as he beat Punawat Phunnakorn of Thailand for all 5 scoring judges. So we're underway. Action in the 51 kilogram flyweight division is between 2 boxers who possess fantastic footwork. It's an all southpaw affair between Fabrice Valerie of Mauritius, the number 3 seed in the 51 kilogram flyweight division, and the southpaw wearing blue is Bair BATLAEV, 25 years of age. 2023 took the European Cup gold at 51 kilograms at the prestigious multi-nations event in Budva. Check right hand landed by BATLAEV. And he's facing off against the reigning All Africa Games bronze medalist. And that is Fabrice Valerie, who took that third spot on the podium at 51 kilograms. Dipping down and scoring with a nice right jab to the body is Valerie, but countered immediately by a right jab upstairs and then keeping the attack going to land with straight punches to the head is BATLAEV. Accurate punch picking, snaking those shots in between the gloves is BATLAEV. Back comes Valerie with his own answer. It was a single shot, though, in response to a cluster of shots, so you have to say that it was BATLAEV who got the better of that exchange. So BATLAEV just seeking to find a range with that right jab, so too is Valerie. And again, when facing an opponent who is equally light on his feet and able to contract and expand the distance so effortlessly, landing those straight punches may well require a 2 or 3 phase attack. Counter left hand is a cracking shot from BATLAEV. So trying to establish his double jab left cross is Valerie. And again, I'm not sure the ropes have been touched by either boxer during the course of this round so far. Exclusively in the space of center ring, circling around the clock face. And plenty of support in the house for Bair BATLAEV. Look at the angles that each of them are creating in a bid to find a home for their punches. Nice right uppercut to the chest from BATLAEV. That's the bell from ring A. And on the resumption, after the sporting touch of gloves, because Valerie thought the round was over, there's our 10-second clapper for ring B. It was a right-left combination for BATLAEV. Check right hook on the bell landed by BATLAEV. A round of high skill between two fleet-footed boxers. And I happen to think it's the man in blue who did the better work overall. But make no mistake, this man was certainly in the round, had his own successes as well. I just think that the man in blue had more of them. Some of the action from the opening round. So it's a clean sweep of the cards for Bair BATLAEV. All 5 judges returning 10-9 verdicts.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So as we move into the second round, Fabrice Valerie conceded the first on a clean sweep of the cards. And again, I wonder to what extent this is a rare experience for Valerie, because he might meet somebody, he might be in the ring with somebody here who possesses faster hands and feet than he does. And if you often have the edge in that regard, it can be quite disconcerting to come up against somebody who possesses more speed. BATLAEV just looking to pick up the pace even more. He scored with a good left cross to the body a few moments ago. Wonderful right jab downstairs, and that will look to just wear the man in red out, slow down his foot speed, make his legs feel a little heavier. There's a good right jab to the body in return, but then from... Oh, what a left hand, and it's completely disrupted the boxing stance and discombobulated Fabrice Valerie. He's showing the referee that he's okay, but that came over in a flash from BATLAEV. So BATLAEV, having staggered his man, seemingly scrambled his senses, will he look to press home the advantage Time being bought here, perhaps by Valerie, after he tumbled down to the canvas, but BATLAEV back on him in a flash. Good work to the body in a bid to bring the hands down from BATLAEV. And he boxing out of a hands down posture now, working the body effectively. Bit of a Superman punch. Feet leaving the canvas as he shot in that backhand. And look at the body work. And he's brought down the right elbow. I think he's felt that. And BATLAEV quickening his feet here now. Really going after his man in a bid to take him out here in the second round. If it's not an oxymoron, he's remaining patient. He wants to be quick, but he doesn't want to be hurried. And this is a really difficult passage of the round. You can see Valerie clamping his elbows to his sides. He doesn't want to take another shot like that left hand to the body a few moments ago. So Valerie up on his toes, trying to avoid the raiding attacks of BATLAEV. Oh, that's a wonderful right hand to the body again. BATLAEV has lost his footing to touch down. And that a dominant 3 minutes of boxing, punctuated by a knockdown scored by Bair BATLAEV. Took the first round unanimously, remember, and then picked it up in the second to establish clear superiority in the course of that 3 minutes. And what a shot, my goodness. Overhand left, landing and just scrambling the senses, dipping the knees of Valerie. Did well to get back up and compete in the manner that he did, but I think he was hurt to the body as well. Torrid round endured. I wouldn't be surprised to see some 10-8 rounds after that burst of brilliance produced by Bair BATLAEV. So 4 10-8 cards returned for BATLAEV. He's in a strong position as we prepare to enter the third and final round.
Round two, third and final rounds.
So too much moisture on the head and body of Fabrice Valerie. So what type of shape is Fabrice Valerie in after that rapid fire overhand left? Dipped his knees and forced him to take a count. And again, with this perhaps being something of a new experience for Valerie, to meet a boxer who is possessed of greater speed of hand and foot, then he's going to have to come up with something different from what he usually does. And that can be, well, straightforward in theory, rather difficult in practice. To go from being the boxer with greater speed, who normally is the one who can control the distance by being in and out with the feet, now he's going to have to rely on his timing in a bid to get his own successes away and catch the advancing BATLAEV. But BATLAEV's footwork is absolutely sublime. So quick, so light on his feet. His heel never touching the canvas. And he's just almost as though he's working the ladder in a gym. You throw that floor ladder down and get the footwork drills done in a bid to improve foot speed. This man would be masterful at those drills. I bet you he uses them or something similar extensively. BATLAEV from the Russian school of boxing, but when you look at states from the former Soviet Union and how they go about their drills, the Uzbek school, they've got ladders painted onto their gym floor, and each of them, the boxers who make it through to that pinnacle of the pyramid, it's a regular part of their training regimen for each of them to work the floor ladders with their different variations of footwork. It's a fantastic drill to watch. Cracking left cross over the top causes the man in red to become disorganized once again. And how quick was that burst of 4 punches in between the high-held gloves of Valerie from BATLAEV. Really enjoying himself up there in the boxing ring now. Good right jab landed from Valerie, who's continuing to compete. But there could be just a little bit of a reluctance to let the hands go from Valerie, because every time he does, he's going to be countered frequently by these punches that are coming in a blurring bunch from the man in blue. So closing seconds of the final round in what has been a very good display indeed by BATLAEV. Outstanding performance. Took the first 2 rounds unanimously. The first round was pretty competitive. In the second round, he landed a stunning overhand left with seemingly no room to uncoil the punch. But uncoil it he did in a really confined position. He dipped this man's knees and sent him tottering across the canvas for a count. And thereafter, it was a pretty dominant display by Bair BATLAEV. And he will be going through to the final 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B, your winner by unanimous decision, and now going to the semi-finals. In the blue corner from Russia, Bair BATLAEV.
So Bair BATLAEV, a unanimous point decision victor, taking all 3 rounds for all 5 scoring judges. A very good display indeed. Fabrice Valerie has enjoyed a really good tournament here at Dubai 2025. And he goes home enriched to the tune of $10,000 US. Number 3 seed eliminated at the quarterfinals, and it's Bair BATLAEV who goes on. Our next contest is between boxers from Kazakhstan and Zambia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B,
Mr. Sergei Zhirkin of Russia
the 366
is the
contest
referee.
in an elite men's under 51 kilogram flyweight bout in our quarterfinals.
And our 5 scoring judges hail from Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Cuba, Spain and Moldova.
Please welcome to the red corner from Kazakhstan, Daniyal Sabit. And please welcome his opponent in the blue corner representing Zambia, Patrick Chinyemba.
Well, there is Daniyal Sabit,
Your officials
23
from Croatia,
years of age, the
Bosnia and
2021
Herzegovina,
Asian Championship
Cuba,
silver
Spain,
medalist.
and Moldova.
The round of 16, he beat Lenik Fernandez of Cabo Verde with a unanimous point decision verdict. There's a point off each way in round 3 for disregarding the rules. Occasionally switch hits, but the 23-year-old a part of the maximum size 13-strong Kazakhstan boxing team. Beat Kelvin Minor of Kenya in the first preliminary round, the round of 32, with a unanimous point decision verdict. And acknowledging all sides of the arena in the middle of the boxing ring, just before being directed back to the blue corner, is Patrick Chinyemba of Zambia. Tournament number 2 seed, 24 years of age and already a two-time Olympian, one of the very best boxers in the world. And in the round of 16, he was too experienced for Moldova's teen sensation, Jon Plinger. I say teen sensation, he's just 20 years of age, but it was a typical Patrick Chinyemba display to open his account here after receiving a bye in the round of 32. So we're underway then. 51 kilogram flyweight action between boxers from Kazakhstan and Zambia. And the two boxers couldn't be more different in terms of their approach, because the man sharpshooting from long range from a low held guard is Patrick Chinyemba, the tournament #2 seed, two-time Olympian in the games of Paris and Tokyo despite being just 24 years of age. Commonwealth Games bronze medalist in the most recent edition in Birmingham, and the 2022 Africa champion, the 2024 reigning All-Africa Games champion. Very best from the mighty continent of Africa, and one of the very best boxers in the world. He's been installed as the #2 seed here, and a compact figure looking to swarm his way forwards and get inside the tentacle-like reach of Chinyemba is Daniyal Sabit. He too has enjoyed continental success, taking his silver in the 49 kilogram division in the edition that was staged right here in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. So there's clearly a happy hunting ground for him. Will it be a return to the medal rostrum of a major tournament if he can get past Chinyemba here? Good left hook to the body from Chinyemba as he's tucking up behind a cross-armed guard. Can on occasion look ungainly, but the more we've come to see him, and I've commentated on him on all of his major events, including his run to the quarterfinals in the World Championships 2 years ago when I was ringside at the Humo Arena in Tashkent. But what can sometimes look idiosyncratic and maybe a little eccentric is part of this man's skill set. He backs himself to the hilt, and he's one of a cohort of outstanding young boxers from Zambia that emerged on the run-up to what proved to be Tokyo 2021. They were all 19 and 20 at around that time. And the Zambian authorities investing into their boxing program. And of course, for any boxer who makes it through to the rostrum here, it's 25% of the prize money to the coach and 25% of the money to the federation. And it is a considerable amount of money as well, which will go a long way to continuing to train the boxers and harness the talent that exists in the respective nations. Nice left jab to the body from Chinyemba, going in search of the right hand upstairs is Sabit. So the first round in the book, each man trying to implement different styles. The front foot pressure of Daniyal Sabit and the sharp shooting from long range of Patrick Chinyemba. I happen to think that the man in blue did the better work, but this man was certainly in it. Did he do enough to take it? Some of the action from the opening round. So it's 4-1 in favor of Patrick Chinyemba. Judge number 1 preferring the work of Sabit.
Round 2.
So we move into the second round. Patrick Chinyemba took the first on a 4-1 split, and again, just presenting different postures all the time, trying to keep the opponent guessing and thinking. So Sabit with a bull rush forwards, tied up by Chinyemba. Surely that's the territory where Sabit will be looking to take advantage and work away. Good right cross to the body, wasn't too far away from Sabit. Chinyemba looking to maintain a gap. Nice jabbing to the body from Sabit. And then a right hand over the top, wasn't too far away from the chin of Chinyemba. Seeking to tuck it behind his shoulder and employ the Philly shell. So Sabit getting closer. Chinyemba got to find his accuracy here. Letting a lot of leather go. It's a comparatively low proportion of it that's landing. Here's a good scoring shot to the body. Right hand over the top, not too far away from Sabit, but Chinyemba had spun off the line. So it's a very patient display. That's a wonderful right hand. And look at Chinyemba acknowledge it, trying to get inside the mind of Sabit and just discourage him a little bit, but Sabit remaining concentrated on his task. And to his credit, he's not following Chinyemba around the ring. He's trying to cut him off. Chinyemba moves left. Sabit cuts him off right, as we've seen just there. But he's managing to keep the gap between himself and his opponent. And every success, whether it's clear or not, that Chinyemba produces is met with a cry of yes from his coaches, just next to my commentary position here at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center. Showing good composure under fire, Patrick Chinyemba. And again, it's the posturing, it's the showmanship from Patrick Chinyemba. But remember, this is a point-scoring sport. Not as it used to be, up until the World Championships of Baku 2011. By the time we got to Azerbaijan 2013, the clock had disappeared, or the counter had disappeared. So the second round completed. It was a better round for Sabit for my money. And I wonder whether there's been enough point-scoring punches from Chinyemba, because he postured and he mean-mugged in the direction of Sabit, but Sabit went about his job. And that industry has seen him take the second round on a 3-2 split. So he's got himself right back into this one. Has Daniyal Sabit, and that is commendable. Because as we go into the third and final round, two scores are tied at 19 points apiece. Two scores in favor of Chinyemba at 20 points to 18, and one scorecard in favor of Sabit. So this has all come down to the final 3 minutes. Patrick Chinyemba, well, now he is letting his hands go, because for the most part in the second round, I'm not quite sure what his tactics were, but he wasn't as busy, and he's thrown more punches in this opening 21 seconds than he did for the entirety of round number 2. So just seeking to stamp his authority on proceedings here now. But remember, Sabit will have grown in confidence from the success that he enjoyed in the second round, which he edged on a 3-2 split. So concentration for both boxers absolutely paramount here now. But a blistering start to the second round, the third round, excuse me, by Patrick Chinyemba. And perhaps just a little too much showmanship and not enough point-scoring punches in the course of the second round. Good left hook to the body from Chinyemba. Look, and again, incredible the turnaround that has happened between rounds 2 and 3. Scything left uppercut, inaccurate from Chinyemba. Sabit continuing to walk his man down in a bid to get close. That's an example of the footwork possessed by Chinyemba to leave Sabit hugging the blue corner turnbuckle up here. Nice 1-2 combination by Sabit. Again, crucial that Chinyemba continues to concentrate. There he lands with a 2-shot combination to the body. So remaining relentless in his pursuit of Chinyemba is Sabit. Chinyemba doing what Chinyemba does, trying to unsettle his opponent, showing that he's in complete control and playing rubber legs in the corner. And again, when he's able to get on the move and extend those straight punches, they are very effective indeed. Final left hand on the bell, and I think that response from the boxers pretty illustrative. Body language from the boxers so often is because they know, and Patrick Chinyemba, I think, has done enough to take the final round and take the contest. But again, switched off a little bit seemingly in the second round to bring this man right back into it, because why Chinyemba was seemingly switched off, Sabit remained concentrated and took the second round on a 3-2 split. So because of the way the scores were, remember we had 2 tied scores of 19, 2 of 2018 for Chinyemba, 1 of 2018 for the man in red. We could well be going to bout review here, but I think it's the man in blue who has done enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B, after a bout review, your winner by split decision and advance into the semi-finals. In the blue corner from Zambia, Patrick Chinyemba.
Patrick Chinyemba with an exultant roar of celebration at having been declared a 5-2 split decision victor. He goes through to the medal stages of a global tournament. It's at least World Championship bronze for the Commonwealth Games bronze medalist, and the best boxer on the continent of Africa will now engage in his customary celebratory salute to all 4 sides of the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center here. A very good display indeed. He's through to the bronze medal stage, the final 4, and he's at least $75,000 US richer. Patrick Chinyemba taking the final round to prevail on a 5-2 split decision verdict, and it's the number 2 seed who progresses. More showmanship being captured for posterity by the photographers ringside.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B, we now enter bout number 367 in an elite men's under 57 kilogram featherweight quarterfinal. Introducing firstly the referee from Zimbabwe, Stephen Maseyambumbi. Please welcome into the red corner from Armenia, Zhirayr SARGSYAN.
Mr. Yambumbi of Zimbabwe. As we prepare prepare to move up to the 57-kilogram featherweight division. Our 5 scoring judges hail from Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Serbia, Algeria, and Spain.
Khujanazar, NORTOJIEV. Your judges from Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan,
So there is
Serbia, Algeria, and
Zhirayr
Spain.
SARGSYAN, 26-year-old from Armenia. In the round of 16, right here in Ring B, he scored a stunning first-round knockout over Niven Chembin of Mauritius and coiled a beautiful right cross to get his man out of there in the opening round, depositing him face first on the canvas. And in the round of 32, he scored a third round stoppage over the man from Comoros, Ben Cheikh Hassani. His opponent is 21-year-old Khujanazar NORTOJIEV, 21 years of age. And in the round of 16, he beat Sachin of India, the 2016 World Youth Champion, on a unanimous points decision verdict. Spirited two-way affair, but it was the man from Uzbekistan who got the nod.
Round 1.
So we're underway then. Action in the 57-kilogram featherweight division between boxers from Armenia and Uzbekistan. Zhirayr SARGSYAN is the man wearing red, 26 years of age, part of a full-strength, 13-deep Armenian boxing team. The man wearing blue just looking to find his range at mid-range with bent arm right hand to the body. It's Khujanazar NORTOJIEV. Two really talented boxers competing for a place in the final 4 of the 57-kilogram featherweight division. Good work to the body from SARGSYAN. 1-2 trying to snake through the gloves from NORTOJIEV. Nice overhand right from NORTOJIEV. May have just strayed into rabbit punch territory. Good left hand to the body, but how about that for a double left hook upstairs in response from SARGSYAN. Real quality through the first half of this opening round. Sharp shooting left-right attempted by NORTOJIEV. Double left hook, body then head from SARGSYAN. Effective defense is being erected by SARGSYAN, and any uncoiled from this peekaboo style with an overhand right. Oh, that's a wonderful counter right hand on the inside from SARGSYAN. NORTOJIEV looking to remain alert and weave away from punches on the perimeter. There's a perimeter of range. There's a good stab cross to the body from NORTOJIEV. That right hand over the top wasn't too far away from SARGSYAN. He's seeking to get inside and burrow away downstairs once more. Good left jab to the body from NORTOJIEV. Right hand over the top. It's a cracking shot as he just floated around the neutral corner, and now he's back in the space of center ring, letting 1-2s go repeatedly. A lot of them being blocked by the gloves and forearms of the man in red, but because those are being used as defensive shields, he's not able to land point scoring punches with them. Very good round of boxing. High skill in evidence between Zhirayr SARGSYAN and Khujanazar NORTOJIEV. Some of the action from the opening round. A very competitive round where both men enjoyed success. NORTOJIEV began to find his range with straight punches, and even though the high held hands were an effective line of defense for SARGSYAN, that reduced his punch output in the closing stages of the round. One wonders whether that will be enough for NORTOJIEV to take the round.
Seconds out.
So NORTOJIEV taking it for 4 of the 5 scoring judges.
Round 2.
So we move into the second round. And Zhirayr SARGSYAN has got to try and do something different after conceding the first on a 4-1 split. He's come out at a quicker tempo, but look at the punch output from NORTOJIEV. Good work to the body, and maybe that will be a profitable place to put his punches for the man in red. But when he's able to let that left-right go and keep SARGSYAN on the edge of range, really does put himself in a strong position. Good left jab to the body, right cross over the top, and this time a left hook to the body, and is really targeting the belt line of his opponent effectively. And these shots, I think, having an effect here now, because he's bringing the hands down. He was just checked by a right hand to the chin. Look at when the body shots land, how the man in red is being hunched over even further to exacerbate the difference in height that already exists. Oh, cracking right hook around the corner as SARGSYAN sought to let his own offense go. And now he's moving around the target, both clockwise and counterclockwise. Another right cross to the body. SARGSYAN tries to get his own get back on the inside with a cluster of punches. And again, that's the combination which is setting up everything else for NORTOJIEV. And he's an expressive individual as well. When he makes his opponent miss like that and can ghost away and leave him chasing shadows, he'll flash that gum shield and mean mug in the direction of his opponent. And again, it's not disrespect as he sinks in a double left hook to the body. And I think these body shots are having an effect here now. It was SARGSYAN who came to pick up the pace, but going with him and increasing it further is NORTOJIEV. Just having a shakeout in there, as with what we've talked about, just grinning that gum shield as if to say to his opponent, how are you feeling? Because I can do this all night. Wonderful left jab on the resumption, and then a counter right hand on the inside after SARGSYAN was inaccurate. So inviting pressure while being on the ropes, and again getting the better of the exchange with those 2 cuffing shots with bent arms is NORTOJIEV, and he's keeping the attacks going. Not too far away with a right uppercut was SARGSYAN, but it was effective movement of the head by NORTOJIEV. And look at the way the taller man was able to dip beneath those punches, spin off the line, and come back with his own straight shots. SARGSYAN desperately trying to get himself into the contest. Remember, he conceded the first round on a 4-1 split. And as we approach the 10-second clapper, this has been a very good round of boxing for my money from the man in blue. SARGSYAN continuing to compete. He's having his moments, but more of them, more successful moments, were enjoyed by NORTOJIEV. Terrific round of boxing. And NORTOJIEV, having taken the first 4-1, must have taken the second round. Whether it's unanimous or not, well, only the judges can determine that. But it was a very good display of increased pace and tempo and indeed precision. SARGSYAN had his moments, but I just think more of the moments came from the man in blue. Worked the body very effectively, digging shots downstairs in a bid to lower the hands of SARGSYAN.
Seconds out.
So identical scores returned as compared to the first. A 4-1 split in favor of NORTOJIEV.
Final rounds.
So we move into the third and final round. Zhirayr SARGSYAN trailing 20 points to 18 for 4 of the 5 scoring judges here. He's leading 20 points to 18 for judge number 1, who scored both rounds in his favor. It's been competitive, but look at that right cross for SARGSYAN, and he's picked off by 2 punches off the back foot from NORTOJIEV. And it's been that type of contest for the majority of the 6 minutes of completed boxing we've had here. There he's trying to get up close and score without reply is SARGSYAN. But NORTOJIEV doing an outstanding job moving around his opponent, keeping the movement going. So that means that SARGSYAN has got to set his feet and come again. Good right hand landed by SARGSYAN, followed by a left jab. NORTOJIEV will be keen to get back to the movement which has served him so well. Left hook is a scoring shot, and then right uppercut, left hook success for SARGSYAN. NORTOJIEV turns the tables. Right hand over the top. SARGSYAN takes in a big intake of breath, and look at the effect that left hook to the body had, just doubling him over once again. So SARGSYAN looking to force his way back on the inside. But again, I think these body shots are having an increasingly pronounced effect. But he bites down and steps back into the fray himself, landing a good body shot a few moments ago as he continues to try to clamber back into the pocket. But look at those slapping hooks go around the rear of the high-held gloves of the man in red. And the movement always circling his opponents. And there's that grin coming from the gum shield of the man in blue once again. Nice 2-shot salvo, but look at the effort that is being summoned up with that big intake of breath by SARGSYAN. Good work to the body, and remember, the winner through to the medal stages and at least 75,000 US dollars. That is the guaranteed minimum that bronze medalist will receive here from the prize fund of 8.23 million US dollars for the entire tournament. So SARGSYAN trying to pick up the pace in the closing stages. It's been a commendable effort because he needed a massive final round to try and get back in contention. He's gone for it with everything that he's got within him, but there is more of the tactics to try and unsettle the mind of his opponent from Khujanazar NORTOJIEV. And it will be the man in blue who will be going through to the final 4. This man gave it absolutely everything. But the free-flowing boxing of Khujanazar NORTOJIEV will see him progress through to the final 4 in the 57-kilogram featherweight division.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring number B, your winner by split decision and advancing to the semi-finals in the blue corner from Uzbekistan, NORTOJIEV, Khujanazar.
So Khujanazar NORTOJIEV, a unanimous points decision victor over Zhirayr SARGSYAN of Armenia. Very spirited performance produced by the Armenian boxer. He's 10,000 US dollars better off, but the man who remains in contention for a place in the gold medal bout is Khujanazar NORTOJIEV. A very good display indeed. He and his coaching team absolutely delighted. They got the tactics right. He carried them out. And he's through to the semi-final stage. Some of the action from the contest, which saw NORTOJIEV progress to the semi-finals.
Ladies and gentlemen,
our next
on
contest is
ring
between
B,
boxers from South Africa and
368 in an
Tajikistan.
elite men's 57-kilogram featherweight quarter-final. Please welcome firstly into the ring from Serbia, Jovana Ugranovic. And into the red corner representing South Africa, Masibulele versus Sigwela.
Our referee is Jovana Ugranovic of Serbia. 5 scoring judges using the 10-point must system will preside over this one. They hail from Algeria, Cuba, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan,
and his opponent
Croatia.
in the blue corner representing Tajikistan, Khusravkhon, Rakhimov.
So there is South Africa's Masibulele Sigwela,
Cuba, Uzbekistan,
22 years of age, part of a 4-strong South African boxing team, the 2024 national champion. And in ring B here, in the round of 16, he was absolutely sensational in what was an absolute firefight against Yanis Zalotsky of Belarus. Zalotsky bringing the heat to the boxing ring, but this man showing real composure under fire, creating angles, sometimes willingly retreating to the corner to show his prowess at boxing and shot selection off the ropes. Then he would get to the space of center ring where he demonstrated wonderful straight punches. So a very good performance indeed. After scoring a stoppage in the round of 32 against Nawaf Al-Zami of the United Arab Emirates. His opponent from Tajikistan is 23-year-old Khusravkhon Rakhimov, the tournament number 2 seed. And in the round of 16, he beat Enkamar Karku of Mongolia on a bout that went to bout review 4-3 in an extremely close affair. Karku was absolutely stunned when the verdict was announced. And it's Rakhimov who has made it through to the quarter-final stage.
Round 1.
So this is action in the 57-kilogram featherweight division. Right hand over the top, slung in by the man wearing blue. Khusravkhon Rakhimov, tournament number 2 seed, 27 years of age. The 2024 Asian under-22 bronze medalist at 57 kilograms. Preparing or in the midst of his 3rd bout here at Dubai 2025. His opponent wearing red is Masibulele Sigwela. He part of a 4-strong South African boxing team, and it's also his 3rd contest. The man from the Mafuzo boxing camp in South Africa. So over the front foot, going in search of a double jab. Nice right hand lead off the back foot from Rakhimov. There's a double jab cross success a few moments ago for Sigwela. Right hand not too far away from Rakhimov. There was a left cross in response from Sigwela. Right hand just long, it did land, but I think it was the wrist and forearm as a check left hand is landed by Rakhimov. Left cross attempted to the body by Sigwela, but then he ran into the backhand of Rakhimov. So good punch-picking accuracy being demonstrated by Rakhimov through this portion of the round. Well, counter right hand, saw the legs between the orthodox and the southpaw boxer tangle. And Sigwela taking a trip to the canvas. He's been ruled a slip, but he's really beginning to measure his man with that backhand now, is Rakhimov. Sigwela has got to try and do something to slow down this man's movement. Using the space of the ring very effectively. He's got that right hand locked and loaded. And a very good round of boxing. Sigwela having his moments in the earlier portion of the round, but then he began to get picked off by individual shots, effective singles from the man in blue. So a clean sweep of the cards for Rakhimov. 10-9 verdicts returned from all 5 scoring judges.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So we move into the second round then. And Masibulele Sigwela of South Africa has conceded the first round unanimously. Had his moments in the opening round, but the deeper we progressed into it, it was that shot right there, the right cross from Rakhimov, that really began to serve him well. He was able to spin off the line when landing these eye-catching singles, both clockwise and counterclockwise. And Masibulele has got to try and do something to slow this man's movement down. Again, body shot without reply from Rakhimov, then stepping in behind a left-right. Masibulele, what adjustment can he make in a bid to get himself into contention in this contest? We've got cries of Tajikistan, Tajikistan, cascading down from the seats here to try and encourage and inspire the tournament number 2 seed wearing blue. Just missing by millimeters, and again, wonderful movement on the inside by Rakhimov to avoid that attempted hook. Masibulele, good work to the body. After Rakhimov momentarily held his feet, but he needs more of that. Does the man in red. Counter right hand was a cracking shot. Then both men exchanging lefts. The backhand from Masibulele. And Masibulele quickening his feet now and having success with shots on the inside. And Masibulele really has picked up the pace through this portion of the round. And his increase in tempo is seeing him enjoy a passage of the round that is successful for him. For how long can he extend it? Just under a minute remaining in the second. So many times here in Dubai, and when watching 3-round boxing in particular, a tactical change, an alteration in tempo can tilt the contest completely on its head, and that's what Masibulele is trying to implement here, trying to get back to the boxing and moving that served him so well in the opening round, and for the first half of this is Rakhimov. But with the extent that he was moving, it's an awful lot of energy that was expended. So will he be able to keep up the fleet-footed moving and spinning off the line and check hooks, just as that one was attempted there? Good right hand to the body from Masibulele. And again, if Masibulele, you see, turning his back blue, so it resulted in a rabbit punch to the rear of the head from Masibulele. Nice right hand down the pipe. And when he's able to employ the movement like that, he's embellishing his successes as Masibulele gives him a little love tap after the bell. Thankfully, no harm done. Interesting round, that one, because after conceding the first round unanimously, the man in blue was able to come back. Excuse me, the man in red was able to come back. some of the action from that round.
Seconds out. Your third and final round.
So we move into the third and final round, and Masibulele got to try and get himself back into contention here. But he looks altogether more refreshed at the end of this round. That's the start of this round, does Rakhimov, compared to that middle passage of the second. So Masibulele just walking onto a right hand there as he goes in search of his own southpaw left cross. But he needs a massive final 3 minutes. Does the man in red, and there's good work to the body with that southpaw right hook. Left hand is a solid shot from Masibulele. And again, left uppercut rips through the middle. Left hand through the guard was attempted, partially blocked by the gloves, but Masibulele, with a place in the semi-finals, the medal round at stake, is really going for it here. But remember, he's trailing by 20 points to 18 for all 5 scoring judges. But pushing his man back now and spearing him with a right cross is Rakhimov. Right cross success again, showing Masibulele that he is indeed not just in a boxing match, but in a fight. And that's why he's not afraid to make it rough on the inside. Left hand over the top from Masibulele, going in search of the finish that would render the judges' scores absolutely redundant. Oh, terrific right cross, twice in quick succession from Rakhimov. But Masibulele continues to press. Sigwela continues to press. So Sigwela continuing to pursue this knockout that he needs. He's wrapped up tightly by Rakhimov and then runs him into a stiff right jet cross twice in quick succession. Does Rakhimov. Masibulele coming back, blasting away to the body, tries to bring a right uppercut through the middle. Fantastic work by both boxers. Masibulele with a jolting left hand that causes Rakhimov to become disorganized. I think it was more a balance thing, but then cracking right hooks landing right up until the final bell. And that is a creditable performance produced in that third and final round by Masibulele Sigwela in a bid to secure the big third round that he needed, having entered the stanza down 20 points to 18 for all 5 scoring judges. Credit to the South African champion from last year, because he really did go for it. But I don't think it was the big round, the big enough round, when you consider that the scores were 20 points to 18 across the board in favor of Rakhimov. So one suspects it will be the tournament number 2 seed going through to the final 4. Let's get the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner from Tajikistan, Khusravkhon Rakhimov.
Well, I don't think there's any love lost between Rakhimov and Sigwela, but there's plenty of respect between the boxers and the opposing coaches. I think the two men making a point of not shaking one another's hands. It is a contest, it is competition, but part of elite sports is that there is going to be a winner and a loser. But a very good display produced by Khusravkhon Rakhimov, and the tournament number 2 seed goes through to the medal rostrum on the global stage. He'll look to go one better than the Asian under-22 bronze he won last year, increasing the prize fund to at least $75,000 minimum. Masibulele, Sigwela with a really strong effort in the third and final round in a bid to turn things in his favor, considering that he trailed 20 points to 18 across the board. But not able to produce the massive round that he needed, but it wasn't for a lack of trying. Terrific contest, and it's Rakhimov who goes through.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now enter the 369th contest in the elite men's 63.5 kilogram light welterweight quarterfinals.
Is in the 63.5 kilogram light
Introducing
welterweight
first
division.
the referee representing the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Saleh
Abal-Khail from the Kingdom of Saudi
Arabia. Please welcome into the red corner from Russia, Ilia, Popov.
Our scoring judges are from Cuba, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Serbia, and Zimbabwe.
And his opponent.
So there is Ilia Popov, the 25-year-old from Russia.
In the blue corner, Juliam, Gabriel, Ortiz, Rivera.
Victory over Yassin Al-Huwaish of Libya.
Your judges are
in
from
the round
Cuba,
of 16,
Turkmenistan,
forcing the man to take
Serbia,
a knee in the final round because of the constant body shots from southpaw jabs and crosses. A very good display indeed by Ilia Popov, preparing for his 4th bout of Dubai 2025, having got his tournament underway in the round of 64. 38 boxers make up the 63.5 kilogram light welterweight division, and this man was in action in the earliest possible round. His opponent is Juliam Gabriel Ortiz Rivera, just 20 years of age. The man from IBN Puerto Rico. In the round of 16, he beat Ani Haxhillary of Albania on a unanimous points decision verdict.
Round 1.
So we're underway then. It's an all-southpaw affair between boxers from Russia and IBN Puerto Rico. The man wearing red is Ilia Popov, a talented 25-year-old who won everything available to him in the youth ranks. Here he is competing in a bid to go through to the medal stages. He was already a quarter-finalist in his maiden appearance at the Senior World Championships in 2019 when it took Andy Cruz to eliminate him. The man wearing blue, his fellow southpaw, is 20-year-old Juliam Gabriel Ortiz Rivera, a 2023 Pan American Youth Bronze medalist from the event in Cali, Colombia at 63.5 kilograms. And this man possesses heavy hands. His shots land with a thudding power. Beat the man from Cabo Verde in the round of 32. That was over in Ring A when he got the better of Admilson Cardvallo. And then that aforementioned victory over Ani Haxhillary of Albania. He willingly conceded his height and reach advantage in that contest to stand at short and mid-range and let those thudding punches go. So what tactics will he adopt against Popov. I mentioned the fact that he forced his opponent to take a knee, and it was that shot right there, the right stab jab to the body, that he loaded time and time again. And there he is looking for it once more. It's a really potent weapon. There's a counter right jab from Ortiz Rivera, but that, you won't want to take too many of those. And there's the follow-up left cross. And then what he does so effectively is he turns side on to avoid the counter. It's like a knife blading his stance. Shoots out the straights, and then you see how that shot caught him on the back of the shoulder? That's because the stance just gets twisted, and there is nothing to hit. If you imagine a knife with the blade perpendicular to your eyes as the overhand southpaw left, not too far away from Ortiz Rivera. Turn a knife sideways, there's absolutely nothing to hit. And that is what Popov does so well as he continues to work and seek that jab down to the body. So waiting patiently in the corner before coming out of the coil with his own southpaw right jab, as he's picked off by a right hook on the inside. Ortiz Rivera. Good left cross to the body after scoring, after dipping at the knees. Well, Ortiz Rivera raising that right hand, but from my perspective here ringside, that may well be in hope rather than expectation, because this man's activity, accuracy and industry to the body, serving him well once again. Ortiz Rivera willingly retreating to the corners and was touched up time and time again to the torso. Now make no mistake, that heavy thudding jab possessed by Ortiz Rivera was certainly had him in the round, but I think the better work, or the more active work, consistency of work, came from the man in red. But what say the 5 scoring judges? And it's Rivera who's taken the opening round on a 3-2 split. I thought it may have gone the other way.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So we move into the second round. Really skillful, competitive opening 3 minutes was edged by the man in blue. Ilia Popov working the right jab to the body, but was only favored by 2 of the scoring judges. Ortiz Rivera adopting the cross-arm guard now to perhaps fend off the incoming fire downstairs. Solid left jab from Ortiz Rivera, right jab from Ortiz Rivera, and again there's that thudding overhand left. What a skillful affair this is. Counter left hand got there first from Popov. Wonderful right jab from Ortiz Rivera, and again right in between the high-held gloves of Popov, looking to turn the hook around the corner, but picked off by a right hook from Popov. Heads may have come together, causing Ortiz Rivera to check his nose. Exchange of shots, the right jab from Ortiz Rivera, the left cross from Popov. Both men on the edge of range, trying to draw that lead they can counter. Breaking the deadlock with an aggressive right jab is Ortiz Rivera. Overhand left, not too far away from Ortiz Rivera, as Popov responds with a 1-2 to the body. So both men continuing to shape and feint on the edge of range. Good double right hand from Ortiz Rivera. The final left hook beneath the left elbow of Popov was a beauty. The men just circling one another. Solid left cross fired in by Popov, looking to get busy behind his lead right stick. 2 shots to the body from Ortiz Rivera, countered by a right hand upstairs from Popov. And it's been that type of contest of high skill, a left cross without reply from Popov. The presence of Ortiz Rivera looking to pin him near the ropes, spinning off the line effectively and looking to counter with an overhand left is Popov. Sneaky left hand, but it's going to be called for straying into rabbit punch territory from Popov, catching Ortiz Rivera behind the ear. Both men exchanging hooks. It was a left hook from Popov, solid overhand left from Popov as Ortiz Rivera had success during a trade-off. Right jab on the belt from Popov. Another skillful round of boxing in this all-southpaw affair. Remember, this man took the first round on a 3-2 split. And the second round was very cagey indeed, with both men enjoying success, really working for their openings. Now, I happen to think that Popov deserved the first, maybe on a 3-2 split. The second round was similar. Both men enjoying success in a 3 minutes of boxing that was replete with high skill. There is a wonderful overhand left from Popov, and I think he's done enough to deserve the round, but I thought that about the first round. And in the second round, he has got it. So my goodness, going in to the final round, it couldn't be closer, because three scores are tied at 19 points apiece, and it's 20-18 each way for the other two judges.
Your third and final round.
So as we move into round number 3 in this 63.5 kilogram lightweight affair, it could not be closer, because the man in blue, Ortiz Rivera from IBN Puerto Rico, took the first round on a 3-2 split. Ilia Popov took the second round on a 3-2 split. And the way the scores have been distributed, we've got three scores deadlocked at 19 points apiece. One judge preferring Ortiz Rivera 2018, the other judge preferring Popov 2018. And again, that jab from both boxers, so effective. The circling of one another continues right on the razor's edge of range here as they seek to get in and out with the feet. Popov up on his toes, solid left hand, but he's spoken to about punching incorrectly with the inside of the glove. Popov will have felt that, but it shouldn't be regarded as a scoring punch. Has to land with the correct knuckle part of the glove. Fainting while being edged back towards the neutral corner is Ortiz Rivera, looking to explode out of that confined position, but he was inaccurate. Another jab to the body from Popov. Ortiz Rivera looking to bring his jab from the hip upstairs. He celebrates a success by rising that left glove to the night sky here at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center. This wonderful open-air venue, perfect conditions for boxing. Not a threat of rain, not a cloud in the sky. And it's shirt sleeve weather here. So Ortiz Rivera has gone from one corner to the other, as Popov continuing to just peck and poke, principally to the body. And plenty of support reverberating around this arena for Popov. Ortiz Rivera, again, he's gone from one corner to the other, trying to lure Popov in, but Popov, check right hook celebrated by Ortiz Rivera, but while he was waiting to uncoil that clever counter, scoring shots were tapping him on the torso. Nice right jab from Ortiz Rivera. Popov comes back with his own 3 times in succession. Left hand is a solid shot from Ortiz Rivera, and then a beautiful right hand catching Popov as he was about to advance, just causing his boxing stance to be disrupted. And again, eye-catching singles being created or produced by Ortiz Rivera. Let's go, a burst of punches on the 10-second clapper, and both men really going for it now and thinking that they have done enough as they disengage. Terrific round of high skill concluding a sensational contest between these two speedy, talented southpaws. Their approach to the noble art couldn't be more different. I preferred the work of Ortiz Rivera, giving him the first 2 rounds. Judge number 1 preferred the work of Popov, giving him the first 2 rounds. Each of the first 2 rounds was scored 3-2 each way. I happen to think that the greater volume from the man in red saw him edge the final round, but it could all come down to distribution of scores, and if it is a 3-2 split, we're going to count back, and then what will the observer and evaluator say? Nervous moments for the boxers here now, an incredibly cagey affair, but I happen to think the man in red did the greater volume of work in that 3rd round. It's going to be tight. What say the judges?
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by split decision. In the red corner, representing Russia, Ilia Popov.
So look at the response in the crowd to the announcement of Ilia Popov as a split decision winner. It went about review, but both the evaluator and the observer favoring the work of the man in red. And look at that respect between 2 incredibly talented southpaws. Ortiz, Rivera, just with a moment of introspection at the conclusion of what has been a magnificent tournament for him. The 2023 Pan Am Youth bronze medalist, boxing his way very well indeed through to the quarter-final stage. He's $10,000 better off, and it's Ilia Popov who bettered his performance when he made a run through to the quarter-finals in his maiden senior world championships in 2019. He's now on the medal rostrum, and the question remains, what color will he come away with? He's also going to pocket a minimum of $75,000 as we take a look at a contest that was replete with skill between these 2 talented southpaws. What a contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now enter the 370th contest
Israel and
in an elite
Kazakhstan.
men's under 63.5 kilogram light welterweight quarter-final.
Mr. Guo Zhang
Introducing
of
first
China.
the referee from China, Guo Zhang. Please welcome in the red corner representing Israel,
Scoring judges
Shtiwi.
from Croatia, Kyrgyzstan, Zimbabwe, Turkmenistan and Serbia.
And his opponent in the blue corner representing Kazakhstan, Yertugan Zeinulinov. Your judges from Croatia, Kyrgyzstan, Zimbabwe, Turkmenistan and Serbia.
So there is Ahmad Shtiwi, a 26-year-old who brings to the ring a perfect professional record. Here at Dubai 2025, he beat John Ume on a unanimous points decision. The experienced man from Papua New Guinea, his face cut to ribbons during the course of this tournament. In the round of 32, he beat Gerald Intu of the Philippines. That was after losing the first round unanimously, and then stormed back to win rounds 2 and 3 with excellent pressure and body shots. So that is the man over in the red corner. The man just into the blue corner is Yertugan Zeinulinov, tournament number 2 seed from Kazakhstan. In the round of 16, he beat Jose Manuel Aguirre Cruz of IBA Pro on a unanimous points decision over the undefeated 21-0 professional.
Round 1.
So we're underway then. This is action in the 63.5 kilogram light welterweight division. We're at the bottom of the draw. And the man wearing red is Ahmad Shtiwi, 26 years of age, competing in his 3rd bout of Dubai 2025. His opponent, wearing blue, is Kazakhstan's Yertugan Zeinulinov. He too in his third bout of the tournament. Two men with contrasting styles to their boxing. You see that Shtiwi is trying to get over that front foot and apply pressure. Zeinulinov, an out-and-out boxer. Measuring his man with the left jab before going down to the body. Takes the cuffing right hand upstairs and then a solid jab from Shtiwi, but a wonderful right hand whipped in once again. And here's the contrasting styles in evidence, because Zeinulinov looks to box out of a flow state and let everything come off. Movement that is invariably up on his toes. Now his hands down, and we so readily associate this type of style with him. Just pecking and poking with that lead left jab. So both boxers in search of their range here. Zeinulinov pressing his way forwards to try and pin Shtiwi against the ropes. Zeinulinov just looking to establish his longer left hand. That left hand on the inside, well, rather curious coming together there. And again, I think it's really disrupted the legs of Shtiwi. I think he's got a problem here because his knees dipped as though someone had pulled a plug, and look at that. That was from the left hook which landed on the inside while they were in a clinch. Zeinulinov freed his hands, landed a left hook. I'm not sure it went into rabbit punch territory, but it is completely discombobulated Ahmad Shtiwi. Closing second, and you can see the man can barely hold his boxing stance, clinging on desperately once again. But his equilibrium appears to have been scrambled during that coming together when a left hand was slung in by Zeinulinov. I think he was well within his rights to do so, because that's part of the art of infighting. You get the hands free and let shots flow. But did it catch Shtiwi behind the ear? But during the clinch he dipped, and thereafter his stance was never the same again. It's this clinch here. There's the shot. It's up on the temple, and look at that. Immediately, as though somebody had pulled a plug, the man's knees dipped, got back to his feet. He's all over the place, and he did well to make it back to the round. He's keeping a poker face, but his coordination completely gone, like a puppet with broken strings. Clean sweep of the cards in the second round, in the first round for Zeinulinov.
Seconds out. Round two.
So has the 60-second interval been enough for the coordination of Ahmad Shtiwi to return? Good work to the body. Shtiwi looking to hook away to the head, but it was a rather unusual interlude. And I'm not sure whether the man's legs have returned to full strength here yet. His mind could be completely clear, but the issues going to his extremities could be getting scrambled, and it might just cost him some coordination. I think Zeinulinov is perhaps cognizant of that. And again, look at the way that right hand just caused him to totter to his right. He's gamely trying to bite down on the mouthpiece and will his way forwards, but his balance less than optimal up there now. Up on his toes, trying to get some sense of coordination back into his legs, but it's looking to be a very difficult endeavor, and I think he's going to be docked a point for holding here. Oh, dear me. So Ahmad Shtiwi's problems mounting by the minute. Nice sneaky right hand over the top. Well, it was one specific incident that seemed to change the entire tenor of this contest. Credit to Shtiwi, because if he is experiencing a loss of coordination, then he's doing everything within his power to stay in there and compete and hope that it returns. But he may well not be able to do anything about that, as Zeinulinov seeking to apply pressure over that front foot. There's very little that Shtiwi can do, as you can see that his legs are unsteady, and it all came from a, well, no punch is innocuous, but it's all relative, of course. But a rather, just a tap on the inside, but when it landed, it had an immediate and significant effect. And Shtiwi having to disengage in a hope that he gets full control of his coordination sometime soon, because entering this survival mode here now, as you can see him totter into the ropes, has already been docked a point for holding. But again, it's a question as to how long is a piece of string. Larry Holmes, the Eastern Assassin, said that Ernie Shavers hit him so hard that he was out when the punch landed, and the fall to the contact with the canvas brought him back around. He had absolutely nothing to do with that, but that's how random getting control of one's senses can be if you have been shaken up, and that seems to have been the eventuality that has befallen Shtiwi here, and I don't think the man has been right for the entirety of the second round. But his competitive spirit remains strong, and he's still in there competing, hoping that he can get back to optimal sometime soon. So 2 rounds completed, both of them scored unanimously in favor of the tournament number 2 seed.
Your third and final round.
So as we go into the third and final round, Shtiwi needs a massive 3 minutes, having conceded both of the first 2 rounds unanimously. But again, there was a coming together in the opening round which have really impacted and impaired the man's opportunity to compete. Because it's not as though he was hit by a cracking shot or hurt down to the body. The 2 men were in a clinch. Zeinulinov freed his left hand, tapped him on the target area, and his senses have seemingly been scrambled since that point. He's trying to launch raiding attacks in a bid to try and get in and out without replies. He scored with a good jab upstairs, but I think he's really wary of being touched by Zeinulinov, because if he does, he could well find himself on the canvas and not know too much about it. So he's in a really difficult position here, is Shtiwi. He's desperate to try and progress through to the medal stages. Remember, it's his 4th appearance at consecutive World Championships, having featured in the editions in Yekaterinburg 2019, Belgrade 21, and Aeneas come up there and caught Zeinulinov below the belt. So it's all happening up there in the boxing ring. I was commentating on a contest in Dublin recently, and Meatball Molly, the former MMA star, made her professional boxing debut. And when she put her opponent under pressure in a corner right next to our commentary position at Windsor Park, the opponent raised her foot and threw a kick. Something that is complete anathema in the boxing ring. It was almost as though she was suddenly overtaken by a street fighting instinct. It wasn't picked up by the referee. Meatball Molly didn't make a meal of it. But there, the knee of Ahmad Shtiwi inadvertently came up and it caught Zeinulinov below the belt. But he hasn't made a meal of it. It hasn't impacted his ability to move, thankfully. And he's remaining in pursuit of Shtiwi, but Shtiwi on a mission to make it to the final bell here now. Because it was one specific incident in the opening round that completely turned the tenor of this contest on its head. So, there's the bell to conclude the contest, and it will be the man in blue going through on a unanimous verdict. Really have to feel for Ahmad Shtiwi, but unable to muster any sort of significant offensive output tonight. Must be an incredibly frustrating experience, having trained so diligently to see all your plans go awry by, again, a relatively innocuous situation up there in the boxing ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B, your winner by unanimous decision and advancing to the semi-finals. In the blue corner from Kazakhstan, Yartugan Zeinulinov.
So Yartugan Zeinulinov declared a unanimous point decision victor over Ahmad Shtiwi, whose ability to compete was significantly impaired after being scrambled by an innocuous shot during a clinch in the opening round. But it is the tournament #2 seed, Yartugan Zeinulinov, who was a quarter-finalist in the World Boxing World Championships in Liverpool earlier this year. He's gone at least one better here by making it through to the medal stages and the final four in the 63.5 kilogram light welterweight division. Our next contest is in the 71 kilogram light middleweight division between boxers from Moldova and Kyrgyzstan.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B, we enter the 371st contest in an elite men's under 71 kilogram light middleweight quarter-final. Please welcome firstly the referee from Cuba, Wilfredo Vasquez Calero. Please welcome into the red corner from Moldova, Vasile Cebotari.
So Mr. Wilfredo Vasquez of Cuba is our referee.
And his opponent in the blue corner representing Kazakhstan.
Our 5 scoring judges hail from Algeria, Croatia, Iraq, Turkmenistan, and Russia.
Your judges at ringside are from Algeria, Croatia, Iraq, Turkmenistan, and Russia.
So there is Vasile Cebotari, the tournament #3 seed in the 71 kilogram light middleweight division, part of an 8-man Moldovan boxing team. And in the round of 16, he got his opponent Blessing Nzayanza of South Africa out of there in the first round. Floored it, gave his man an 8 count, floored him, then another 8 count, and the referee waved it off after a flurry of heavy shots. Nishonov also took his man out before the final bell. A devastating combination, a left-right hook to the body followed by a thunderous left hook to the jaw. He was cut on the eyes just before that and came back from that doctor's inspection with a real renewed sense of urgency and took his man out in the second round. In the round of 32, he stopped his opponent in 22 seconds with a left hook to the body. So this, a contest between two outstanding boxers who possess dynamite in their gloves. And the man in blue, Nishonov, has yet to hear the final bell here at Dubai 2025. Vasilia Cebotari, undefeated professional, with a 19-0 record. Having made his debut 6 years ago, his most recent outing in the pro ranks was in June of this year. Looking for the counter left hand is Cebotari. And oftentimes, when knockout punches face one another, the fireworks that are often anticipated and expected by the fans and the promoters, well, the contest can be rather subdued because each man is wary of the fight-ending power that the other boxer possesses. What will ensue here, because looking to get onto the front foot is Nishonov, fresh from competing at the World Championships in Liverpool earlier this summer. Lost in the third preliminary round. As for Cebotari, in addition to his perfect professional ledger, he's a European Championship bronze medalist from the event in Belgrade last year. And at the age group edition in Budva in 2023, the under-22 championships, he came away with gold at 71 kilograms. Third consecutive appearance at a World Championships here, as each man going in search of backhands. Nice right uppercut turned underneath. Oh, and then heavy hooks being slung in by Nishonov. Nice movement out of the corner by Cebotari. That left hook to the body didn't have much pace on it from Cebotari. Both men standing atop wide-legged stances and looking to press and penetrate that cross-arm guard is Nishonov. Oh, clumping left hook to the body, followed by a right uppercut through the middle. That wasn't too far away. Cebotari has gone from one set of ropes to the other. Has he been hurt by some of these body shots as the heavy leather continues to thunder its way in? One shot going below the belt. He's trying to keep his cool under fire, but by slipping and dipping with the punches, not really in a position to let his own hands go. He wound up that right hand from last week, did Nishonov, and almost found a home for it. Respectful tap of gloves to conclude the round, but I think the greater activity, which came in sporadic bursts from the man in blue, will be enough for him to take the round. There's some of the power that was landed early on. And again, he had a wide-eyed look about him after taking that shot. And when you face off against the boxer with the type of power that Nishonov evidently possesses, well, sometimes you meet a man, you meet an opponent who has the power to change things in terms of the approach that you may bring to the boxing ring.
Seconds out.
Well, I think the man in blue did the better work in that opening round. Each man spoken to about punching correctly. Well, not able to bring you the scores, but I think the man in blue was the better boxer in the opening stanza. And again, out more quickly to begin the second round is Nishonov. Cebotari, that's good defense with that left glove to defend against that incoming right hand, which was whipped in with tremendous velocity. Good work to the body in a bid to lower the hands from Nishonov. But this is really negative ring position being taken up by Cebotari, because he's literally going from corner to corner. Now he's in the space of the ring, but look at his movements. He's not circling, he's going back in a straight line, back touching the ropes, and now covering up in his own red corner. It's going to be very difficult to win the contest from this type of position, this negative ring position being adopted by Cebotari. He's pecking and poking with a southpaw right jab and now trying to get some movement going. But it's from one corner to the other all over again. And now he's retreated to the blue corner. Power driving right cross launched by Nishonov. Back in the corner once more. He's been spoken to repeatedly about holding on. And I think that's the final talking to from the referee, Mr. Wilfredo Vasquez, as marauding forwards once again and hooking to the body before looking for the overhand right, and then a chin checker of a right hand from Nishonov. He got tangled up in the rope, such was his momentum. Cebotari trying to take advantage. He gets clipped during the course of an attempted exchange, but he's throwing don't hit me punches right now. Here's Cebotari, pinned on the ropes once again, trying to employ the Philly shell and tuck his chin behind his shoulder and slip and dip away from the punches. But they're proving rather porous. So he's got to do something differently for my money here. He's celebrating the pot shot successes that he's having, trying to play back foot counter puncher. But I just don't think enough counters are being launched by Cebotari. In another corner once again, working away to keep the man in red's hands occupied is Nishonov. That is effective defense in the corner. Not much got through there from Nishonov, but nothing has come back from Cebotari, as both men rubbing their heads vigorously on the inside. Each man trying to show the ref that they're not the one. Oh my goodness, on the break. Not only a shot on the break, it may have been a little low as well. No time given to Cebotari to recover. I'm not sure he was seeking it. Bull rushing his man and bringing the knee up in the air is Nishonov. Now again, we weren't able to bring you the scores from the first round. I thought the man in blue did enough to win it. And even though there was effective defense from out of the corners, I just think the negative positioning that is taken up and the paucity of point scoring punches make it very difficult to give that round to the man in red. Because again, he made his man miss, but the best shot in that exchange was a shot to the body, and there's the love tap on the break and on the belt line, at best, from Nishonov.
Seconds out.
So Nishonov has taken the second round on a 3-2 split,
Round
but that
three.
set of scores suggests that the first round was taken by Cebotari, which I do find surprising. So going into the final round, this contest is in the balance because we've got 3 scores tied at 19 points apiece and 20 points to 18 each way for the other 2 judges. Effective defense on the ropes, but I'm not sure these pot shot singles in the face of these heavy shots that are occasionally getting through are going to be enough for Cebotari, but he's right in the contest because much to my surprise, the first round is he lands with a good check right hand as he spun off the line. I'm rather surprised that Cebotari was given the opening round when he was buzzed by a shot early on. And the effective aggressor, because of course aggression is one thing, for it to be part of the scoring criteria, it has to be effective aggression. Point scoring punches, ring generalship and defense, the other components or principles of scoring a round. But it's punching that is the most important, because if you do all the other 3 things fantastically and don't land any point scoring punches, it's very difficult to give the round to a boxer who may be masterful in the other 3 facets of scoring or of judging a round. But you see, he's trying to peck and poke his way to a win here. And if this was professional boxing, which it isn't, it's IBA 3-round boxing, you would say that the man in red is trying to nick it Back foot boxing, an art in itself, of course, and now he is getting forward, so you can't label him with that because he is standing his ground, but on the back foot, slipping and sliding away, never looking to push the opponent backwards. That often frowned upon in professional boxing, and now he is holding center ring and making Nishonov having to work to get his way inside. Can he maintain this type of posture after spending the majority of the first 6 minutes on the ropes or in a corner? There he scores with a point-scoring single. Nishonov looking to keep the attack going. He's retreated to the ropes once again. Good left hook to the body from Nishonov. Again, I think that single punch got him the better of the exchange from the feather light punches that were tapped in by Cebotari. But it is a subjective business, of course. And now Cebotari is trying to back the man up. Nishonov inaccurate. He's got to improve in that regard. Leaning on with the head rather blatantly in front of the referee. Good left hook scored to the body by Cebotari. And Cebotari ending with a long left cross, which he celebrates. He feels that he's done enough in this. It is very, very close. A reminder of the context as we await the verdict of the judges. We had 3 tied scores of 19 points apiece for judges 1, 2, and 4. Judge number 3 preferred the work of this man. Judge number 5 preferred the work of the man in red. Now I happen to think that the man in blue, I'm surprised he found himself in that rather precarious position of being level after 2 rounds of boxing, because I thought he clearly took the first, but the scores are the scores. And we're going to have to see which way this one goes. Well, the scores have taken a while to evaluate. And again, nobody produced a 10-8 round. It's likely to go to bout review. Which way is this one going to go?
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by split decision. In the blue corner from Kyrgyzstan.
And it is Nishonov. Jubilant celebrations abound in that blue corner and in the boxing ring, because Ilia Nishonov, a 4-3 split decision winner at the conclusion of a contest that went to bout review. And there is absolute ecstasy in the camp of everyone connected to Ilia Nishonov. He prevailing in a really hard-fought affair. Tactics adopted by Cebotari for the first and the second round. I understand what he was trying to do. I just don't think enough point-scoring punches were produced. And in the third and final round, he did work from the space of center ring and enjoyed good success, but edged out on a 4-3 split in a contest that went to the verdicts of the observer and the evaluator. So both of them must have favored the work of the man in blue, and it is Ilia Nishonov who goes through to the semi-finals. Our next contest is between boxers from Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan. Mr. Valerie Pastuhov of Moldova is the third man in the ring as our referee.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now enter the 307th
Our scoring judges are from Zimbabwe, Kyrgyzstan, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Serbia, and China.
Firstly, welcome the referee from Moldova, Valerie Pastuhov. Introducing first into the red corner, representing Azerbaijan, SARGSYAN Aliyev. And his opponent in the blue corner, representing Kazakhstan, Zhussupov. Your judges are from Zimbabwe, Kyrgyzstan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia and China.
There it is, 27-year-old Sarkhan Aliyev of Azerbaijan, the tournament number 7 seed. In the round of 16, he beat Ortiz on a unanimous point decision verdict. Very impressive display of efficient punch picking and movement. There was a rally launch by the Latvian in the third and final round, but he dealt with it well. His opponent is Zhussupov, the reigning Asian champion, having taken gold in Thailand, and he's already earned 3 World Championship bronzes as the tournament number 2 seed in 2017, 2019 and 2021. Those were down at welterweight, and in the round of 16 he beat Alexander Radzianov on a clean sweep of the cards.
Round 1.
So we're underway then. The second semi-final in the 71 kilogram light middleweight division. It's between boxers from Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan, and the man who is seeking to be the aggressor on the front foot is Sarkhan Aliyev. He's already been a bronze medalist on the World Championship stage, having ascended to the podium in Belgrade 2021 at 71 kilograms. For the last World Championships, he lost to Nishonov in the preliminary rounds. Nishonov went on to take a bronze. The man operating out of the southpaw stance, wearing blue, who's just scored with a wonderful left cross, is Zhussupov, 3-time World Championship bronze medalist already, 2016 Olympian, and a man who has won everything there is to win as a youth. I was ringside at the second edition of the Youth Olympic Games in 2014 to commentate on his triumph there. The same year he won World Championship Youth Gold. So that's the first time I saw him. Back in 2014, some 11 years ago, and here he is, having long since made the transition from youth superstar to one of the best boxers in the world, seeking a return to the World Championship podium for the 4th time. Rather untidy takedown, sees both men take a trip to the canvas. So neither man finding their range with any consistency through this point of the contest. There's a beautiful left cross, just as I say that, measured and landed by Zhussupov. Hard left hand slung into the body, or at least attempted by Zhussupov. Sarkhan Aliyev going in search of the overhand right. Some of the action from the first round. Clean sweep of the cards for Zhussupov.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So we move into the second round. Left cross attempted through the middle. And to this point in the round, neither man has really found their timing or their judgment of distance. That's what they're working for, that's what they're thinking towards trying to achieve. Right hand to the body from Aliyev is countered by a whiplash roundhouse left from Zhussupov, and then he lands a hard left hand to the body, which I think may have brought about a reaction from Aliyev. He's going in search of right hands over the top. But again, all or nothing attacks being launched offensively, particularly from Aliyev, and when he misses, he ends up either going long or off balance. Spinning away from the incoming fire from the right hand is Zhussupov. Again, there's an example. Shot goes over the shoulder, and Aliyev winds up employing a headlock, which sees his feet come off the ground. Heads coming together between the orthodox and southpaw as a thudding body shot was landed. Not quite sure whether it strayed into illegal punch territory from Zhussupov. Plenty of support in the house for Zhussupov, who's in search of a southpaw left, and for the second time in the last 20 seconds or so, Aliyev's feet leaving the canvas. Wonderful southpaw jab from Zhussupov. Cuffing right hand out of the corner while spinning off the line from Zhussupov. Air of desperation about that left hand slung in from Aliyev. Trying to close the gap on quick feet, going for a left hook to the body, but ends up meeting the forearm of Zhussupov. Rather untidy through phases of this second round, this one. Well, the first round scored unanimously in favor of Zhussupov, and the second round was very similar for my money. Here's a wonderful counter left hand. Aliyev landed with the cuffing right.
Seconds out. Your third and final round.
So the score's not available from the second round at this juncture, but I would be stunned if it wasn't a round in favor of Zhussupov. Sargksyan Aliyev has got 3 minutes to try and produce something dramatic and different here, because he must have conceded the opening 2 rounds. The first one unanimously. Hasn't been able to find his distance tonight. Hasn't really looked to use the left jab to set things up. See, it's a left hook followed by a right hand, and Zhussupov has already ghosted away. That's an overhand right, that's a scoring shot, but it's landed incorrectly with the inside part of the glove, rendering it a slap rather than a legal scoring punch. Nice right jab out of the corner. And again, Aliyev remaining fully committed to the cause here. He's not stopped going for it, but he's not really been able to measure his man. Everything seems to be reliant on landing that overhand right, which is going to be very difficult. And look at that, practically chasing after his man. His hands windmilling from his shoulders. But a man who moves as effectively and possessed of such terrific reflexes as Zhussupov, in all likelihood, isn't going to be caught by a single overhand right that isn't set up by something different. Even by way of decoy or distraction, a left jab could come in, touch the man to the body, do something different. There's a wonderful left-hand lead from Zhussupov, spinning off the line and then feeding Aliyev a darting jab. Aliyev trying to quicken his feet, but Zhussupov up on his toes. Very difficult to get him to stand still, and he's pot-shotting his way to point-scoring successes here. And Aliyev, well, he's not quite chasing shadows, but he's not managed to land any significant offense. And again, all of his store being put into that right hand over the top and left hook to the body. There was a semblance of a jab before a right hand from Aliyev. It's a right hand, left hook all the time. And again, it's going to be very difficult to catch a boxer possessed of these qualities that Zhussupov has in his repertoire, as he scores with a spearing lead left right down the pipe. But a very difficult mission for Sargsyyan Aliyev, and he's never really been able to get to grips with his judgment of distance or his timing tonight. And that can happen sometimes, and of course the man in blue had a lot to do with that. So a very good display indeed, economical from Zhussupov. And despite this man's best efforts, just not able to close the gap or catch up with the man from Kazakhstan on a consistent basis. Two seeded boxers battling for a place in the final four, and it's the number 2 seed who, for my money, has got the better of the number 7 seed from Azerbaijan.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B, your winner by unanimous decision. In the blue corner from Kazakhstan, Zhussupov.
So, Zhussupov, a unanimous points decision winner, taking all but one of the rounds over the... taking all but one of the tallies over the 3 completed rounds. Spirited effort produced by Sargsyyan Aliyev, but the number 7 seed never able to get to grips with the movement or the dynamism of the number 2 seed, Zhussupov. And he goes through to the semi-finals, where he will face off against the power-punching man from Kyrgyzstan, and that is Nishonov. Our next contest is in the 80-kilogram light heavyweight division between boxers from Russia and Kenya. Our referee is Mr. Besmi Mohammed from Algeria.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring
Our
B,
5 scoring judges hail from Zimbabwe, Turkmenistan, Spain, Kazakhstan, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Heavyweight quarterfinal. Introducing first the referee from Algeria, Besmi Mohammed. Please welcome into the red corner from Russia, Jambulat Bejamov. And his opponent in the blue corner from Kenya, Robert Nemehia Okaka.
So there is Jambolat Bijamov.
Your judges from Zimbabwe,
seed in the 80 kilogram
Turkmenistan,
light
Spain,
heavyweight division.
Kazakhstan, and the
In the round
Kingdom
of 16,
of Saudi Arabia.
he beat Yaroslav Zakpekov on a 4-1 split. Actually had to take an 8 count in the third round. Still won the round 3-2. In the round of 32, he stopped Tavita Malupa of Konga. And so that is how he has arrived here at the quarter-final stage. 24 years of age, the man from the Russia, and he has got plenty of support reverberating around Ring B here. His opponent is Robert Okaka, 26 years of age, the man from the Kenyan hit squad. In the round of 16, he produced a terrific display to beat Yusuf Rafi of Tunisia with a third round stoppage. Used those long arms to soften the man up to the body, dropped him in round 2, 2-8 counts in round 3, and then the contest was waved off.
Round 1.
So this is action in the 80 kilogram light heavyweight division between boxers from Russia and Kenya. The man wearing red is Russia's Jambolat Bijamov, the tournament number 3 seed, 24 years of age, and in the World Championships in 2021 in Belgrade, he was a silver medalist in the 75 kilogram middleweight division. Took continental silver in the same middleweight in the same city 3 years later. Here he is up at 80 kilograms, 1 win away from returning to the medal stages of a major international competition. His opponent, wearing blue, participated in the World Championships in Tashkent, lands a good left hook to the body. It's been a terrific run through to this quarter-final stage because he beat the experienced figure of Anton Vinogradov of IBN Estonia in the round of 32 before that third round stoppage over Tunisia's Yusuf Rafi. Oh, what a jab, my goodness. Robert Okaka shooting it up from the belt line and landing with a massive gap in between the two. Really does use straight punches well. You can see from the breadth of the man's shoulders and back and then his length of arm, that straight punches, unsurprisingly, are a significant part of his armory. Looking to overcome that gap by getting into mid-range is Bijamov. Oh, right hand was a solid shot driven in by Okaka. Inaccurate with the overhand right there. Came back on a rather circuitous route as well. But again, to close the gap, you're going to have to possess fast feet. I hope that you can get in and out before another shot uncoils from those seemingly everlasting arms of Robert Okaka. But he's taking it to him and working well to the body with uppercuts underneath is Bijamov. Good combination punching to pile up the points from Bijamov. And he's the busier boxer through the first round. Okaka trying to quicken his feet and get himself into his punching range, which won't necessarily be punching range for Bijamov. There's a good scoring jab to the body. Can he get back to establishing that punch, which has served him so well in the tournament so far? Well, some of the action from the opening round. There was an early jab from Okaka, but thereafter, the man in red was able to get busy at short and mid-range touching shots underneath. On a 10-8 round, I think is particularly harsh. My goodness, a 10-8 round. Yes, I can understand why it's Bijamov's round, but 10-8 I do find rather surprising.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So moving to the second round, Dzhanbulat Bijamov has taken the first round unanimously. One of the court scorecards returned a 10-8 verdict. Which isn't what I saw over the course of the first 3 minutes, but again, that's completely irrelevant to the way this contest will be scored. It's Dzhanbulat growing in confidence now, bringing his backhand into play, just making Akarka become a little bit disorganized. He's looking to get back to the left, right, to the body. Beautiful use of the left hand from Bijamov. Nice right hand landed by Akarka downstairs. Along with the attempted right cross was Akarka, left hook. Out of the southpaw stance from the man in red was altogether closer. Oh, beautiful double left hand and the second left hook. Spun Akarka around a little bit. He's continuing to switch his feet, but he's having success out of this port-sided stance. Is Bijamov. Right cross attempted to the body. Same shot once again for Akarka. But I think his corner imploring him to be busier. He's spending an awful lot of time on the perimeter of the boxing ring. The presence as the man in front of him continues to switch his feet. Now he's back in the orthodox stance, but the presence of Bijamov making life pretty difficult for Robert Akarka. Now he's back as a southpaw boxer, Bijamov. Orthodox once again and scores with a good left hook downstairs. So Akarka, when you've got a jab such as his, surely it needs to be busier than what it has been through this contest and through this round in particular. Needs to be more incessant, more insistent. Because when he does use that lead left hand, either whether it lands or whether it doesn't, it serves as a real deterrent, or at least something to be negotiated and negated for his opponent to get inside it. And I can tell you that just to the right of my commentary position here, his corner team were turning their palms up to the night sky at the open-air Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Center. Because I think they're trying to find out what is going on with the approach of Robert Akarka, because it's impossible to score that round for him because he didn't produce enough point-scoring punches and he took up rather negative ring position. At least that's how I see it when compared to the more varied and the greater number of successes enjoyed by Akarka. Excuse me, enjoyed by Bijamov. I do think 10-8 is particularly harsh from judge number 4. I suppose all we can say is that they're consistent, because I don't think the first round was a 10-8 round in any way, shape or form.
Seconds out.
And they've scored the second the same way, which I do think is a rather harsh verdict on the
your third and final round
of Robert Akarka. So we move into the third and final round. And with cries of Russia, Russia reverberating around the stands here at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center, it is The man in red, who is in a comfortable position here now. He is a heavy-handed straight puncher, is Akarka, so Bijamov will be wary of that and won't want to run onto anything that could prove to be a contest-ending combination. And again, Akarka has got to be busier than he's currently being, because he's got 4 scores of 20 points to 18 against him, and one of the judges has returned 2 10-8 verdicts after 6 minutes of boxing. It's Bijamov who is just asserting himself once again, and he's back to Akarka, back into the corner, and then he's keen to wrap his man up in a clinch to get himself out of that confined position. Not quite sure whether Akarka was hurt early, but it's not been the same positive display that we've seen earlier on in the tournament. Robert Akarka from the Kenyan hit squad. Of course, the opponent can have an awful lot to do with that, but there's a right hand over the top from Akarka, perhaps his best backhand of the entire contest. But Bijamov keeping his composure. Switch hitting has proved to be a successful and effective tactic. And again, Akarka saying sorry because a shot went low. That's what the referee's there for. I know this isn't professional boxing here on the 3-round stage, but the late, great Ricky Hatton used to say, well, if a shot goes low, it's not a tickling contest, is it? And I'm not suggesting that that was intentional, but let the referee sort that out. So Akarka is trying to get some punches put together here now, but he needs a knockout. Two experienced boxers from the World Championship stage. Then the man in red has already been through to the final of major competitions, of global competitions, but that was down at 75 kilograms. That's a clever counter right uppercut attempted by Bijamov. Couldn't quite find a range, continuing to switch between orthodox and southpaw. Well, even after the 10-second clapper, Akarka not letting his hands go. And that is it. The man in red will be going through to the semi-finals. Robert Akarka with a very good performance over the course of the tournament in the round of 32 and 16, but just not able to get it going tonight against Dzhanbulat Bijamov. His corner were asking for more, but perhaps he had given everything, has given everything that he's had to give tonight, but we didn't really see much evidence of the long, strong jab or the booming overhand or straight rights. But again, that could have been because Dzhanbulat Bijamov just made him a little wary to let his hands go. It's Bijamov who will be going through.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, advancing to the semi-finals from Russia, Dzhanbulat Bijamov.
So Dzhanbulat Bijamov, a unanimous points decision victory over Robert Akarka of Kenya. But a good performance during his stay in the tournament, winning his contest at the round of 32 and the round of 16. Robert Akarka, he's eliminated at the quarterfinal stage, but he has enriched himself and his federation and his coach to the tune of $10,000 US to be split between them. 50% for the boxer, 25% for the coach, and 25% for the federation. Very good tournament for Robert Akarka, and it's Bijamov who goes through to the final four yet again on the global stage. Wonderful to see that respect between the two. Our next contest is between boxers from Armenia and Spain.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now enter our 374th contest in an elite men's 80 kilogram light heavyweight quarterfinal.
So Mr.
Your
Eduardo
referee in the ring from
of Croatia
Eduardo
is the referee.
Gustin. Please welcome firstly into the red corner, representing Armenia, Artush
Our scoring judges
Hovhannisyan.
hail from Cuba, China, Russia, Serbia, and Kyrgyzstan.
And his opponent in the blue corner, Gazi Magomed Shamilov Jalidov Gafarova.
So there is Artush Hovhannisyan. Round of 16 victory over Zach Brown of Australia. In the round of 32, it was a really hard physical affair against Brandon Gonagon of Cameroon. Came through on a 4-1 split in that contest. Part of a 13-strong Armenian boxing team. Little bit of a late arrival. Not quite sure that that's called as fashionably late for the tournament number 2 seed, and that is Gazi Magomed Jalidov of Spain. Bronze medalist in Tashkent 2 years ago. And the Tokyo Olympic Games quarter-finalist in the delayed games of 2021. Here he is seeking a return
China, Russia, Serbia,
to
and
the medal
Kyrgyzstan.
stages for the second consecutive championships.
Round 1.
So we're underway. This is action from the 80 kilogram light heavyweight division between two experienced operators. The man wearing red is Artush Hovhannisyan, 27 years of age. His opponent wearing blue is Gazi Magomed Jalidov, tournament number 2 seed, looking for a return to the final 4 of the IBA World Boxing Championships. Right hand over the top is a scoring shot from Jalidov. Nice left jab to the body from Jalidov as Hovhannisyan looking to get over the front foot. He responds with a left jab to the body of his own. That's a cracking right cross which came behind the jab from Jalidov, and he has found his range immediately. Judgment of distance perfect through the first half, or the first minute of this opening round. There's a solid left hook to the body, and look at how it brought the hands down of Hovhannisyan. That prompted Jalidov to look for the overhand right. Right hand lands once again, and he's using that shot to terrific effect. For the overhand right on that occasion, it's the straight right cross that has served him really well thus far. Hovhannisyan just a little slow with that left hook. Magomed Jalidov, the busier boxer in this round. He's certainly been the more accurate. It's Hovhannisyan going in search of his range, having switched his stance to a southpaw ring position. And he did get through with a left cross just before the bell. Perhaps his best shot to the head of the entire round. Did score with a good shot to the body earlier in the round, but I think the more consistent scoring came from the man in blue. Example of the right-hand successes for Jalidov. And it's a 4-1 split in favor.
Seconds out.
Of Jalidov. Judge number 1 preferring the work of Hovhannisyan.
Round 2.
So emerging for the second round as a southpaw is Antush Hovhannisyan. Oh, that's a low blow, my goodness. Oh, Hovhannisyan not making a meal of it. Not asking or needing any time to recover, but it was demonstrably low. Returning the favor is Hovhannisyan, not suggesting it was intentional, but just slipping south of the mark. Another low blow, and it's really, I thought it was a low blow, but it may have been for the rabbit punching from Hovhannisyan as he looks to bring the left-hand bolo shot into play. Pace picking up here in this 81 kilogram affair, or 80 kilogram affair, excuse me. Short right hand attempted to the body from Jalidov. There he did score with a left hook, which came on the follow. Driven in a right cross to the belt line of the man in red. Left cross to the sternum in response from Hovhannisyan. Cuffing left hook on the inside from Jalidov. Just caused the man to lose his boxing stance. And he's scoring to the body effectively with these long whipping bolo backhands. But Hovhannisyan seeking to trap him in the corner, moving smartly out of the corner is Jalidov. Oh, that's a terrific shot. Well, it's a low blow again, and this time he does need some time to recover. So a count's going to be issued here. And I think it's going to be a stern talking to in the direction of the man in blue, because he may well receive a point off for the low blow. It was a really solid shot. And the first time, Hovhannisyan was able to shake it off, but on this occasion, he did require the time. So a count is issued in the direction of the person who has received the low blow, but the point deduction comes off the card of Jalidov, and that has put an entirely different complexion on this contest now, because that point deduction will be considered when all the scores are tallied at the conclusion of the bout, in the event that judges are required. Big guys here up at 80 kilograms as a left cross piles through from Hovhannisyan, and Hovhannisyan making it rough on the inside. Now, I must say it's rather loud in here, the fans generating a terrific atmosphere, and the boxers may not necessarily hear the commands of the referee. 10-second clapper almost seemed to be at the same pitch as the fans in attendance, so wasn't necessarily audible. So Jalidov, Dr. Point, for not repeated low blows, but a couple of really significant ones. That was the, well, that wasn't the first, to be fair. I thought that was one of the few that we saw, but there was a one which just caused a brief respite in the action, and that was the one where Hovhannisyan had to say, hold on a minute, man. So a point deduction for that infringement. The low blows from the current World Championship bronze medalist. So Zhilinov has taken it for the second consecutive round.
Seconds out.
Which gives us two scores that are tied at 19 points apiece. The other two, 20 points.
Your third and final round
of the man in blue. But he's got a point deduction against his name. So he won't want to pick up another infringement. And that means that Zhilinov is in with a real opportunity here if he can produce a strong performance in the final round. But the busier boxer, as he scores with a good counter right jab, the busier boxer throughout has been the man in blue. So Zhilinov looking to get onto the front foot and back up the hard-charging Hovhannisyan. Both men really planting their feet into the canvas in a bid to put some leverage on their punches here now. A forearm bar beneath the throat of the man in blue from Hovhannisyan. So it's rather physical on the inside. Oh, Hovhannisyan holding and hitting. My goodness. Blatant. He held the man down on the back of his neck and turned an uppercut underneath. So the point deduction that was assessed against Zhilinov for the low blows has effectively been cancelled out because of the point deduction that has been assessed against Hovhannisyan for the hit and hold tactics. So now it has come down to boxing, and it means that Hovhannisyan needs a massive final round here because he trails 20 points to 18 for 3 of the judges. The other 2 judges have it square. Good burst of punches to the body from Zhilinov in what is a hard-fought physical encounter to determine who's going through to the medal stages. Digging away to wherever shots may land is Hovhannisyan. And both of these men boxing on the edge of the rule book. There's a nice reverse 1-2. It was actually a 3-shot combination. Right, left, right from Zhilinov. Both men exchanging backhands with Hovhannisyan in the orthodox stance in a bout where he has switched between orthodox and southpaw. So Hovhannisyan trying to quicken his feet. There's an air of desperation about his work, understandably, as the seconds tick down. And again, that point deduction for the blatant holding and hitting has really reduced the possibility of a Zhilinov victory. I don't think he's done enough to win the final round, which is what he needed to do. Which means that he faced a 20 points to 18 deficit for 3 of the 5 judges. Hard-fought affair. Never gives anything less than a maximum effort at Artush Hovhannisyan, but I think it's going to be the number 2 seed, Ghazimagomed Zhilinov, who is going through to the medal round for the 2nd consecutive World Championships. Well, commendable effort from Artush Hovhannisyan, but he just not able to get his tactics or timing as consistently as he would like tonight. And one suspects it's going to be a unanimous victory for the man in blue.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision, in the blue corner representing Spain and advancing to the semi-finals, Ghazimagomed Shamilov Jalidov Gafurova.
So Ghazimagomed Zhilinov, a unanimous points decision victor in a bout where points would deducted either way, and he and his team absolutely ecstatic. For the second consecutive World Championships, the tournament #2 seed will earn at least World Championship bronze, and he's also earned a small matter of $75,000 minimum guaranteed for his run to the bronze medal rostrum. He'll have designs on more as he goes through to the final four. There, he will face off against Zhambulat Bijamov of Russia, the tournament #3 seed, facing off against the tournament #2 seed for a right to progress to the final in the 80-kilogram light heavyweight division. Our next contest is in the 92-kilogram heavyweight division, and it features boxers from Spain and Armenia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now enter the 375th bout in an elite men's and the 90-kilogram heavyweight quarterfinal. Introducing your referee from Russia, Sergei Zhirkin. Please welcome into the red corner, representing Spain, Emmanuel Reyes-Play.
So Mr. Sergei Zhirkin of Russia is our referee.
And his opponent in the blue corner, representing Armenia, Narek
Five scoring judges hail from Algeria, Kazakhstan, China, Moldova, and Zimbabwe.
Your judges from Algeria, Kazakhstan, China, Moldova, and Zimbabwe.
Well, there is Emmanuel Reyes-Play, 2021 World Championship bronze, the Paris Olympic Games bronze medalist, and in the World Boxing World Championships earlier this summer, he came away with bronze in the heavyweight division there, one of the very best in the world on a consistent basis, the #3 seed. Looking for a return to the medal stages in a global event. Here at the round of 16. Produced a very good display to beat Nurmagomedov Zhusupov of Kazakhstan on a 4-1 split.
Round one.
So this is action from the 92-kilogram heavyweight division. It's between boxers from Spain and Armenia. The boxer wearing red is Emmanuel Reyes-Play, the tournament #3 seed. And his opponent wearing blue is Narek Manassian. He took a World Championship bronze in the most recent edition of the World Championships in Tashkent. He followed that up a year later with a silver medal at the European Championships, where he wasn't able to contest the final against Muslim Gaji Magomedov. So two highly decorated boxers in pursuit of a place in the final four. Looking for the left hook to the body was Reyes-Play. Looking to counter with the left, right, left hook is Manassian. Mentioned how decorated these two boxers are on the international stage. In 2022, in his hometown of Yerevan, Armenia, the man who was just going in search of that right hand and keeping the attack going, Narek Manassian, was edged out at the semi-final stage by Reyes-Play, leaving him with a bronze. So they've met on the big-time platform before. Inaccurate was Manassian, and that's a good single right hand dug into the body of Manassian by Reyes-PUR, and I think he felt the effects of that shot, backing off, not punching, just allowing the pain of the body shot to subside, but he's hit in a similar shot, in a similar spot, with a terrific bolo backhand. And Reyes-PUR targeting the body effectively, fronting it out, and maintaining a poker face is Manassian. Tolerance to pain, of course, one of the key intangibles that a boxer requires, because that is the nature of the sport. You have to be able to come through those difficult patches. So the first round in the book, and the body punching was notable from Emmanuel Reyes-PUR. Well, there's plenty of aggression from Manassian, but that type of body punching, really impressive. And I think the man in red has done enough to take the round. But the judges see it differently, and it's a 4-1 split in favor of Narek Manassian.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So moving to the second round then, and this rematch from the semi-final stage of the 2022 European Championships in Yerevan. Seen Emmanuel Reyes-PUR lose or drop the first round on a 4-1 split. Despite the eye-catching body punches that he produced, he's getting onto the front foot now. He lands in another right hand to the body, counter right hand over the top attempted. And again, these body punches really being dug in with some ferocity by Reyes-PUR. Getting onto the front foot and backing up Manassian. Nice jab off the back foot from Manassian. Pose the question whether in his round of 16 bout against Nurmagomedov Zhusupov of Kazakhstan, whether Reyes-PUR began to fade in the final round. But here he's really active through this first half of the second round. Dropped the first 4-1, remember, and he's pushing Manassian to the perimeter of the boxing ring and keeping him on the back foot. Another body shot dug underneath by Reyes-PUR, countered immediately by a shot downstairs from Manassian. Manassian looking for the jab off the back foot, but the body is being touched up repeatedly by Reyes-PUR with a variety of punches, hooks around the corner, straight through the middle, and then corkscrew shots snaking in between the gloves of Manassian. He attempts to counter, but he's inaccurate. Manassian just stealing a glance to his corner, who are passing on instructions. And I don't think there's any love lost between these two, and Reyes-PUR asking for more energy from the crowd, because there's a vocal Spanish contingent here making their presence felt tonight. And again, it's something that's not measurable, but that is what home advantage is often about in elite sport. What a beautiful right uppercut turned underneath. Athletes and teams can draw such energy and inspiration from the fans, particularly when things get hard. In the sport of boxing, which is perhaps the most individual sport there is, even though it's a team that gets the boxer ready to compete, it's the boxer who has to do the fighting. But when the greatest Muhammad Ali was under pressure, you'd often hear his cheerleader, Bundini Brown, with various cries of encouragement from beyond the ropes, including fight for God, something bigger than himself. Now, what's this point deduction for? He's holding and hitting, and this is going to be very difficult for Reyes-PUR now. Of course, in the heavyweight division, there is always the possibility of a knockout. 10-second clapper has sounded. There's the bell. Now, I think that Reyes-Plá was the far busier, better boxer during the course of that second round. But I thought that about the first round, and he lost it on a 4-1 split. So we'll wait to see what the judges return. But he's had a point deducted, and so that has to be considered. But Reyes-Plá, the aggressor, quality puncher such as that. Manassian had cameos of success, but I don't think he had nearly as many as the man in red. And somehow he still got a share of the card for two of the judges. So he's taken the first round 3-2. Excuse me, he's taken the first round 4-1, Manassian. He's lost the second round 3-2, which means that going into the final round, two scores are tied at 19 points apiece. Manassian leading 20 points to 18 for two judges.
Your third and
Reyes-Plá leading for one judge. But remember, there is the point deduction to be considered. That's a scoring left hook from Manassian at the start of round 3. Point deduction for Reyes-Plá. And look at how his head is being snapped backwards by the rapid jab of Reyes-Plá. There's a left hook on the inside by Manassian, but then the right cross is the best shot of that exchange from Reyes-Plá. So the men feinting on the edge of range. Left jab wasn't too far away from Manassian. Reyes-Plá shaping in front of his man. Solid left hook landed. May have been countered by the right hand from Manassian, and he kept the attack going to land another right hand, Manassian. Digging away on the inside is Manassian, and this is where he can be more effective given his compact stature. Remember, Reyes-Plá has already been hit with a point deduction for holding. That's why that yellow card is on his graphic. Check right hand landed by Reyes-Plá. Looking for the same shot once again, and it was effective, rendering the lead left hook of Manassian inaccurate. So we're beyond the halfway stage of the final round. Manassian looking to set a trap and walk his man onto something. Reyes-Plá creeping his way forward, perhaps a little cautiously, mindful of what's coming back, and the head of Manassian crashes into the jaw of Reyes-Plá. Good work to the body from Reyes-Plá, beneath the left elbow of Manassian. Left jab was a scoring shot, but the right follow-up right hand didn't land. Walking through with a scoring right hand is Reyes-Plá. Rabbit punches being employed around the rear of the head from Manassian during that clinch. So Manassian looking to maraud his way inside once again. Almost holding a running conversation with his blue corner next to my commentary position here. 40 seconds remaining in the final round. A moment of sustained quality could well prove to be decisive here given the context of the scores. Flashy right uppercut attempted by Reyes-Plá. Flicking jab from Manassian. Again, you can see Reyes-Plá fiddling with that gum shield, pushing it out of his mouth. Is he perhaps feeling the pace, but he's got to summon up some energy here. See if he can produce something eye-catching in the closing stages. Manassian will be in pursuit of the same objective. Looking for the right hand is Reyes-Plá. Manassian looks to counter. Manassian on the back foot, disengaging, launching a sneaky left on the belt. So, sort that one out, because I happen to think that the man in red won that contest, but we have to consider the context of the scorecards. Because rather surprisingly, this man took the first round on a 4-1 split, and that's not what I saw at all. The second round was edged on a 3-2 split for Reyes-Plá, but he was docked a point for holding. I think Reyes-Plá has won the third round, but I thought he'd won the round that we've just watched here. In the first round went against him. It could well go to the realm of bout review because there is that point deduction to consider, but I think the man in red has done enough here. The scores are taking a while to tabulate. Remember, if it's a 3-2 verdict, it will go to bout review. So it's incredibly close. And in the event that the bout review still doesn't sort it out, then we'll be in the realm of old-fashioned countback, and it will be preference that will determine who goes through to the semi-final stage. And again, oh my goodness, these scores are taking a while to compute. What must be going through the minds of the boxers? I think they've been tabulated. Let's get the official verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, after a bout review, your winner by split decision. In the red corner, representing Spain,
and it is Reyes-PUR who's been declared a split decision victor over his familiar rival, Marek Manasyan of Armenia. And Reyes-PUR, for another global championships, goes through to the medal stages. The Olympic bronze medalist, the 2021 World Championship bronze medalist, and a man who claimed bronze at the World Boxing World Championship event in Liverpool earlier this summer, will stand on the podium once again. He's earned himself at least $75,000 US, and he will have designs on going through to the gold medal bout. And remember, for the man born in Havana, over in the opposite division, we have Julio Cesar La Cruz. So what possibility of them meeting in the gold medal bout? But there is the small matter of the reigning two-time world champ to get past in the semi-finals if he can beat the man from Greece, Vagkan Nanitsanyan, in our next contest. So Mr. Uktam Bazarov of Uzbekistan is the referee. Our judges hail from Serbia, Turkmenistan, Cuba, Azerbaijan, and Iraq.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now move to our 376 contest in an elite men's under 92 kilogram heavyweight bout, and it is a quarterfinal. Introducing first your referee from Uzbekistan, Uktam Bazarov. Please welcome into the red corner, representing Greece, Vagkan Nanitsanyan.
So approaching the boxing ring is
Vagkan Nanitsanyan, his opponent into the blue corner from Russia, Muslim Gadji Magomedov.
And Aloto Havea of Tonga on a third round stoppage.
Your judges from Serbia, Turkmenistan, Cuba, Azerbaijan,
Germany,
and Iraq.
Daniel Lockstein. Lockstein sustaining a cut left eye in that contest, which really did alter the nature of it. So Vagkan Nanitsanyan preparing for his third bout of Dubai 2025. Competing for a place in the final four. The man into the blue corner is the tournament #2 seed, Muslim Gadji Magomedov, the 28-year-old, the defending two-time world champion, having taken the title 2 years ago in Tashkent and in 2019 in Yekaterinburg, the reigning European champion and the Olympic silver medalist from the Tokyo Games. And in the professional ranks, he's ascended to world title status there, as well as the WBA Bridger weight champion. Here he is back in the three-round format of IBA boxing, looking for a return to the medal stages and indeed the final.
Round one.
And we are underway. 91 and 92 kilogram heavyweight action between boxers from Greece and Russia. in the quarter-final stage. A place in the semi-final is the prize that awaits the victor here. The boxer wearing red is Vangan Nanitxanyan, 26 years of age. And his opponent, after the heads come together, his opponent wearing blue is the estimable figure of Muslim Gajimagomedov, the tournament #2 seed, looking for a return to the final for a third time. And he's landed a right cross, which was an effective shot. In his round of 16 victory, he beat Abdullah Rajapov of Cambodia on a unanimous verdict, and he was boxing in this type of dynamic mood. Received a bye in the round of 32, courtesy of his #2 seeding. 27 boxers making up the 92-kilogram heavyweight bracket. So Nanitxanyan is feinting on the edge of range. As each man looking for that, to draw that lead that they can counter. Solid left hand landed by Gajimagomedov. Double jab attempted by Nanitxanyan. Good variety being demonstrated, and now a straight 1-2 as Muslim Gajimagomedov gets onto the front foot and seeking to pick up the pace here inside the final minute of the opening round. Wonderful left hook landed by Nanitxanyan. Clinch ensues. The referee allowing the boxers to work it out. Oh, that's a solid right cross landed by Gajimagomedov, looking for his get back. Here's Nanitxanyan. Pecking right hand landed off the back foot from Gajimagomedov, then skitting around the ring, looking for the counter after he made his man miss. Feinting on the edge of range continues. Good left right to the body from Muslim Gajimagomedov. Competitive round of boxing. I happen to think the man in blue did the better work. Some of the action from the first round is a wonderful right cross landed by Gajimagomedov. How about that for a solid left hook from Nanitxanyan? But again, it's been that type of round, but I think the more effective work on a consistent basis came from the man in blue. But how will the 5 scoring judges see it? So a clean sweep of the cards for Muslim Gajimagomedov.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So we move into the second round. And Vangan Nanitxanyan in it for every second of the first 3 minutes, but conceded it unanimously. Accurate reflection of what took place, perhaps. Well, the referee allowing them to work on the inside, but neither man able to free their hands to find a space for their punches. I'm not quite sure they were looking to. Gajimagomedov, wonderful 1-2, and then spinning out of the corner, turning the tables and looking to keep the attack going. Nanitxanyan in search of the overhand right. Gajimagomedov really looking to put his straight punches together here now. Both men landing body shots during the course of that protracted exchange. Whipping right hand to the body landed once again by Gaji Magomedov. And he's so good on his feet that he's able to just creep into range and escape from range without doing anything discernibly different. Always up on his toes and a wonderfully athletic and dynamic mover. Right hand not too far away from Gaji Magomedov. And Vajit Kanyan looking to free, as Vagkan Nanit Zanyan looking to free his hands and launch uppercuts on the inside like that. While to telegraph that intended right hand, Nanit Zanyan. Gaji Magomedov's forward foray bringing a burst of applause from the crowd. There's a sizable Russian crowd supporting Muslim Gaji Magomedov in here tonight. So the referee has bumped his knuckles together. Cut has been sustained to the left eye of Nanit Zanyan. Doctor is happy for the contest to continue. Both men looking to improve their accuracy. Often both were wide of the mark during that attempted exchange. So 2 rounds completed. Again, I think the better work overall came from the man in blue. The way he was able to turn the tables and keep the attack going to make it a 2-3 phase attack and just cause Nanit Zanyan to back up. Perhaps the most sustained quality over the course of that second round.
Seconds out. Your third and final round.
So into the third and final round we go. And the man in red needs a massive final round here. And here he lands a reverse 1-2. But remember, in this division, always the possibility of everything being changed courtesy of a single shot. So Muslim Gaji Magomedov, who's in a strong position on the scoreboard, will have to remain switched on. So Nanit Zanyan looking to back up Gaji Magomedov, and again he spins smartly out of the corner and looks to launch a counter-attack with Nanit Zanyan on the ropes, does Gaji Magomedov. Right uppercut catches the advancing Nanit Zanyan as he was perhaps reaching down looking for a body shot. Gaji Magomedov remaining up on his toes and a dynamic, active figure. Towering presence in the 92-kilogram division as well. So Nanit-Zanyan looking to get over the front foot. There he scores with a good right hand to the body. Gadzhimagomedov whips in a right hand bolo shot on the inside. He's bobbing and weaving, but he takes a left jab from Nanit-Zanyan. So a minute remaining in this final round. Right hand was a solid shot to the top of Gadzhimagomedov's head from Nanit-Zanyan. Bobbing and weaving beneath the incoming fire from Gadzhimagomedov. And he's keen to keep the attacks going. Here's the man in red, because remember, well, he's got to take his man out of there quite simply. Gadzhimagomedov tying his man up to prevent him from working, and he'll want to avoid any damage inflicted from Nanit-Zanyan's head. Right hand with a solid shot landed of the overhand variety from Nanit-Zanyan, and another one during that cluster. And all of a sudden, Gadzhimagomedov's punches just a little inaccurate as he windmilled from the shoulders. But he's going to have done enough to have seen this contest over the line. Nanit-Zanyan launching a spirited rally in the third and final round, but he wasn't able to do enough. And it will be Muslim Gadzhimagomedov who will surely be going through to the medal stages once again on the World Championship stage. Spirited effort, particularly in the third and final round from Vagkan Nanit-Zanyan. Muslim Gadzhimagomedov had to show his conditioning, but not enough produced surely by Nanit-Zanyan, considering that he trailed after 2 completed rounds of boxing across the board. So one suspects it's the man in blue who he's about to be declared as the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. For your winner by unanimous decision and advancing to the semi-finals. In the blue corner from Russia, Muslim Gadzhimagomedov.
So Muslim Gadzhimagomedov, a unanimous decision victor over Vagkan Nanit-Zanyan of Greece. Acknowledging the fans in attendance here at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center, because his energy levels were tested in that third and final round, a round where Vagkan Nanit-Zanyan needed a massive round after conceding the first 2 rounds. But he really is a superstar among Russian sports fans and indeed fans of IBA boxing. The 2-time IBA world champion remains in contention for a 3rd world championship gold. So he goes through to the semi-final stage, and the people who are in charge of these things have got it correct, because in the bottom half of the 92-kilogram heavyweight draw, it is the number 2 seed, Muslim Gadzhimagomedov, facing off against the number 3 seed, Emmanuel Reyes-Pla, at the semi-final stage. So that about concludes this 14th session of boxing here from the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center. We will leave you with the results of the 12 bouts that we had in this session of boxing. And it just remains for me, Ronald McIntosh, on behalf of the entire team here in Dubai, bringing you coverage of the 23rd edition of the IBA Men's World Boxing Championships, to say thank you for staying with us, and join us again tomorrow for further action from day 8 as we are at the semi-final stage. We'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.